everybody hear me?
Yeah.
I've got a big mouth, so no problem. But if you can't hear me ever, please give me a sign. I'll turn that a little bit more. So welcome to the light and love that is Unity of Lawrence. It's a little our light's a little darker than it usually is. No, not just literally, not figuratively, of course. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, right? So we expect, this is a very wide outage that we're told about 11:15, maybe the lights will be on, so we'll see what happens, but we're prepared. So I'm so glad you guys came out anyway. And I also wanted to affirm that Friday night we had a Valentine's dance. You know, there was that love holiday yesterday, and I see some of my fellow dancers are here. It was so much fun. So, you know, one of the blessings of this community is we have a wide variety of activities. And so please keep in the know, keep in the loop about that. You can do that through getting on our email list, which there's a sign-up sheet out in the foyer. We usually have slides going the last few minutes before the service starts that kind of gives a list of what's going on. And then we'll talk about some of those opportunities at the end of every service too. So it was a great time. Jessica Pryor facilitated our dancing and even got, you know, somebody a little awkward like me actually feeling like I could dance in rhythm and everything. So it was a lot of fun. So please keep your eyes out for upcoming activities. So in Unity, we begin everything with prayer. So let's take a centering breath and open to the divine in all of us as we pray. With full hearts and open minds, we gather today to accept the endless possibilities of peace on earth and peace in our hearts. We acknowledge the existence of pain and injustice in the world, but we also acknowledge limitless love and our limitless being. We welcome our divine inheritance as co-creators. We know that we are already standing in the light of love, of healing and transformation, and so it is. Amen. Our prayer chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray with you. If there's anything in your heart to be held in prayer, please see Holly back there, who's also our music director, in the chaplain's office after today's service. Our chaplains will also pray for you during the week. Place a prayer purple request slip in the wind box outside the office, and those are in the seats in front of you. And all prayers are kept confidential if that is your wish. We invite you also to join in a prayer circle immediately after the service at the front of the sanctuary for all of you who want to participate in a group prayer for yourselves and the world. You can still meet one-on-one with the chaplain in the office. All right, so let's stand together as you're able and sing with Holly, Thank You for This Day. These are pretty simple lyrics, so hopefully you can catch on if you don't know them. Okay, so as much as you're able, please join with me in affirm Unity's founding principle. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the source of all good. Very good, I'm impressed. Okay, now the Unity of Lawrence vision statement. Right, together, united in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And finally, that was beautiful, by the way, good job. Okay, now our Unity of Lawrence mission statement together. We are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And it's our lucky day because Cindy Novell is here to sing.
Old friends, proud today, family, and new people as well. So this is one of my very favorite old hymns. My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the sweet though far off hymn that hails the new
hear the music ringing, it sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest loudly roar? I hear the truth it liveth, and though the darkness round me close, songs in the night it giveth. No storm can chase my inmost home, while to this rock I'm clinging. Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing?
That was really beautiful, Cindy. Thank you so much. I can't wait to hear what else she has in store for us today. So now our speaker today is Bethany Shipley, and she is a speaker and a writer and a guide for those who are ready to live a life of deep purpose, authenticity, and alignment. With over a decade of experience helping others step into who they truly are, Bethany creates space for people to connect the dots between who they are and how they show up in the world. Let's welcome Bethany.
The decade thing kind of makes me laugh because I look around at all of you. I'm like, I'm one of the youngest people in this room, you know? And I'm like, to be honest with you, sometimes I feel, if anything, the little voice inside my head, if you have one of those, you know what I mean, says, what do you have to offer? What do you have to say that these people don't already know? All the lived experience here is pretty impactful, to be honest. I was overhearing, as I was sitting in the front row, overhearing some of your life challenges, you know, as of recently, and people have been through so much, and I'm humbled, you know, to be here and hopefully share something. And I'm as I'm sitting here, I'm asking God to make me tender for today, because I kind of came in a little bit not tender, just one of those days, you know, and then I overhear, you know, about loss, and I'm like, man, the human experience is so special, you know, and so hopefully, if anything, my thoughts are, maybe I can share concepts that we all relate with from different perspectives, different lived perspectives, and it doesn't have to mean that mine isn't valid, you know, or maybe it's just part of the journey, but yeah, gosh, I really didn't expect to get torn up so soon. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, I was really kind of hoping for a candlelit service after Valentine's Day, so this is perfect. When I looked at the calendar and saw that I was going to be speaking the day after Valentine's Day, I kind of wanted to tie something in with romanticism, because the idea of romanticism is kind of around in our culture around Valentine's Day, February 14th. And so I wanted to share a little bit of the journey that I've been on this year so far. And really it started around December 28th when I started looking at what I was going to set as my New Year goal. And I've always been kind of attracted to goal setting, and really the kind of stereotypical goal setting, like you set something really specific and it's measurable and you go for it and you have your game plan and you know, kind of that aggressive behavior towards step-by-step thing. And but it actually was very contradicting to the journey that I've been on the last few years, because I've actually been feeling like I've been called to more being instead of doing. And so I kind of sat down with myself and thought, how in the world can I set a being goal instead of a doing goal? What would that look like? And I grew up in Christian faith, and the verse that kind of came to my mind from the Bible was about fruits of the Spirit. So I started, doodling on my little paper about what the fruits of the Spirit are: love, joy, peace, thankfulness, gratefulness. I don't remember them all, but I kind of attached some ideas to maybe that could be my goal, to be in the fruit, to see the fruit of the Spirit, and the being would be the Spirit. But still, something about that just didn't sit right. And so I decided to set a goal of being, and I decided to call it Romanticizing My Life. I'm going to try to romanticize my life. Now, I want to share with you a story that I'm gonna share the first part of the story now, and I'm gonna share the rest of the story, or where I'm at in the story right now, at the end of my talk. So the story that I'm about to share with you really happened in July, and this is just kind of the most wild thing. And I also just want to share and preface that, I hesitated even sharing it because it was such a dramatic experience. But my husband got into kayaking this last summer, and he decided to go on a one-day trip on the Little Blue River, which travels right behind our property. And he was going to just go on this random one-day trip. We really don't do things separately a lot, so the fact that he wanted to go was just, and I didn't go, was kind of weird. The rain had just come the weekend before. It had rained. The river was over-flooded, and this is a river that's not commonly traveled. It's not classified, I think, is how they determine it. So it's not commonly traveled. My husband is a very thorough person, and he researched ahead of time. He created an account on the U.S. Coast Guard whatever website, looking for a specific type of man-made structure called a low-head dam. And these low-head dams are supposed to be water control that are essentially really dangerous if you go over them. Low-head dam is where the water, if it's high, it rushes over the cement and it makes an underwater tornado, essentially. So my husband did this research, and he did not find a low-head dam on his route. So he took off in this little dinky kayak that we got on Facebook Marketplace. And so he called me around noon. I'm just estimating. He called me around noon, and he said, I'm ready to get picked up. I said, cool, I'll head out. I grabbed one of my 4 kids. We went in the van and went to, tracked him on the river, and then we went about 2 miles ahead of him at a parking lot I found. And I said, all right, I'm here. We talked on the phone. I'm here. I'm waiting. I'll see you in a few minutes. So a few minutes go by. I, track him again, and it looks like he's in the same spot. I'm like, what in the world? This is so crazy. Maybe it's just not updated. You know how phones are, right? Looks like he's in the same spot, and a few more minutes go by, and I started to kind of feel a little nervous about what's happening, but it's a very small river. And from where I was looking, it looked like Eli, my husband, he could just swim right out of it. So I just kind of talked myself out of it. Bethany, you have a tendency to get crazy in your head, all that. What I didn't know is that up the river, 1.5 miles, he'd come around the bend, seen a low-head dam, tried with everything he had to get out of the river with his kayak, and it was just going too fast. And so he made his best attempt at getting paddled as hard as he could to try to get over the cement. And what happened was he nosedived into, it was about a 15-foot drop till he hit the water, is what we, when we went back and, estimated it with our fingers. And then he had what we estimate 12-minute journey in the water with 3 breaths. And then so 3 breaths within what we estimate 12 minutes. And the only reason we estimate 12 minutes is because he knew where he talked to me on the phone. We knew when he got to the low-head dam, and then he called me right after. So Oh, yeah, we get the microphone. Sure, yeah, why not? This one or this one? Whichever one you want. What do you think?
I can use it.
This one? Yeah.
Just give me
So I'll just wait on it. It's probably still kicking on, I'm guessing. Hopefully I don't like boom when it comes on, and I'll just keep sharing as it goes. Okay, he's got it.
Had gone over the Lowhead Dam, started swimming, realized he wasn't going to have success swimming. He had a life vest on, but even that was not, it was just sucking him right back in. So he ended up with the life vest on, swimming as low as he could into the river, never touching the bottom, getting hit with sticks and logs and all sorts of stuff, then pushing himself as fast as he could forward, what he estimated was downstream, and then came up, got a breath, got sucked in again. That happened 3 times. So when he got out of the river, he was obviously extremely shaken up. This is a guy who's even-keeled, cool, collected, very shaken up. And he said, to be transparent with you, I thought that was the end. And he had his own journey with this story, you know, thoughts of shame, how he could go out on the river and be so careless, you know, things like every human's going to have a different interpretation of that. Obviously, I can't share his perspective today. I only have my perspective, and this has been a catalyst for a huge transformation in our life. The next day, we went down to the river looking for the kayak, looking for his dry bag with his, did you know Honda van keys are like $300, $400 a pop? I see the head shaking. Looking for the van key, looking for his wedding ring, looking for his driver's license, credit cards, all of that still in the dry bag somewhere in the river. It never emerged, and we just signed off that we weren't going to find it. So while we were walking up to the Lowhead Dam, I said, I know you just saw it in a way you don't want to see it, but I really want to see this thing, and I need to settle this for me, because I was kind of replaying it in my mind, you know, the whole experience that he went through. So as we were walking up to the Lowhead Dam, an eagle came and flew right above us and sat on the branch. I would say it's probably from here to the peak of the room, and just sat there. And I said, I know it's so woo-woo, Eli, but I feel like that eagle is a symbol for us. And I just kind of said it, and he, said, well, that's cool. He's all about, he wasn't necessarily feeling it himself, but he was supportive of me feeling that. The next few months, eagles just start showing up in our life everywhere. And I could tell you so many times, but one in particular, our kids did this reading challenge at school. And if they did the reading challenge and sent so many emails and fundraised this much, they would get a little stuffed animal. And there were at least 10 options of animals. And both of them, different grades, came home with little eagles. Just things like that where I just kept going, okay, I got it. Perspective, I got it, something about the eagle. So of course I dove into what does an eagle symbolize, because why not? And what Google and ChatGPT and other, research found, helped me find, was that an eagle represents perspective. Instead of Eli's perspective, which was down in the river, every twist and turn, and every little thing being at eye level, an eagle sees the river as from the journey's perspective. So I was like, perfect, I'll adopt that. I don't want to get caught up in the minutia of life. I don't want to get so caught up in the things that are bothering me that I can't appreciate the journey of life itself. Okay, so hold that thought, and I'm going to dive back into romanticizing your real life. So January rolled around, and I decided that I was going to set a being goal instead of a doing goal. So I was going to try to romanticize my life. And essentially, for me, I had to kind of qualify this as being in a state of enjoyment about my life, being in a state of appreciation instead of a state of dissatisfaction. Because what I noticed about my goal-setting tendencies is that I would set these goals of, okay, it's measurable, it's something I want, it's something I don't yet have, and all my attention is going to go towards that future or that thing that I don't have. Whereas being really says, could I have more appreciation for the present moment than I have for what I don't yet have? More appreciation, less dissatisfaction. And I have seen people be able to set goals and also hold appreciation for the present moment, but I'll be completely honest, I have not ever been that way yet. And so I was like, I gotta fix this, right? Because like this is on the trajectory. That does not end me well. That doesn't get me to the end of my life and go, gosh, I had a great time. So if I'm gonna be able to set outer goals in the future at some point, I'm going to have to create a muscle where I can appreciate it, the moment that I'm in, and appreciate the life that I'm given now. So, yeah, so January 3rd rolls around, and when I pictured romanticizing my life, you have to realize that I was picturing like hot tea in a clean house. You know, that's like like when I see, and I know I'm young compared to a lot of people in here, but I see people who don't have children yet online romanticizing their life, and I have this thought of like, oh gee, that must be nice, like get up, you know, at 5 a.m. Well, what if your kid was in bed with you all night long kicking you, you know? So January 3rd rolls around, and I was so set on this being goal. I'm gonna be in a state of romanticism in my life. And we got the stomach bug, our family. And I have 4 kids, 11, 9, 7, and 5. And everyone except for me was experiencing the stomach bug in a very dramatic way. Yeah, it was like as bad as you could imagine. It was that bad. And I would tell you more, but it's not in line with the title of my talk. And so this was like, I was experiencing, I don't know the name for it, but sometimes a virus, instead of going to where it commonly goes, like the stomach bug, it can actually go to like a joint or a nerve, and my right arm couldn't move for this time. So imagine me trying to clean up all of this with my left hand, and we live in a very small house anyway, and so, I mean, it was comical, and I thought, I'm gonna have to change my being goal. I can't just romanticize my life. I have to romanticize my real life, because I'm not going to find the hot tea, clean house, kids are all getting on the bus on time, so-and-so didn't forget their Valentine's box, my career's going exactly, podcast gets this many, blah, 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 whatever goals I want, it's not mostly going to go that way. So if I'm setting myself up for that's the expectation of like, oh, I'm going to romanticize my life, but yet all of these things, these human experiences just keep hitting me, that is not going to work. And so I started thinking about how it could look to romanticize my real life. That means when the kitchen is dirty. And I start there because that's just like, I like a clean kitchen, you know? But I live with 5 other people who like to cook, and they are messy, you know? Appreciating we have a very small house. It's a farmhouse. It was originally 2 bedrooms. We made it into 3, but with a lot of finagling of walls, you know, so it's like 900 square feet. And yeah, it's pretty small. And my husband's currently finishing our basement to kind of help expand that. But, and when that happens, our youngest child will be able to move out of our room. So how can I romanticize my room when it's just the 3 of us? We laugh about that every day. I mean, we sing that song every day because our 5-year-old is in our room right now, and it's like not ideal, right? So how can I appreciate my children in their phases when they're just having a combative day? How can I romanticize my real life when things are not firing on all cylinders? So what started to happen, and I'm still formulating language around it, and I was like, man, I hope I can come up with something good, because what started to happen, and I'm only, 45 days in, is I am starting to watch this evolution in my real life as my genuine appreciation of things have been growing. I am noticing an internal shift that I'm actually allowing myself to notice the big things as well. And it sounds crazy, but also big things are happening at the same time. It's like a ripple effect of my appreciation for the small things have actually turned into some really miraculous moments. So one of them one of the miraculous moments that I experienced was this last week. This last week, I thought, how cool would it be to give my husband his wedding ring for Valentine's Day that he lost in the river? So I went on a secret adventure. I've been watching the show Alone, which is where all the survivalists go out and they have to live in the Arctic. So I kind of felt like I was going out on Alone, down to the river. And I told my dad, hey, FYI, I'm going to the river just so somebody knows where I'm at. I'm going to try to find this ring and the dry bag. And so I ended up walking about 1.5 miles down the river. And I was kind of looking in the river, looking for the kayak. But there was one spot in particular I kind of suspected because it was clogged up, tons of logs, sure enough, and I wish I could show you the photo. I should have sent it in. I didn't even send it in. But I spotted what I thought was the dry bag. And sure enough, I climbed out there on these logs. And I'm like, dear God, please don't let me fall into this river right now. I climbed out there, and sure enough, I found the kayak was buried under multiple feet of water under logs and whatnot, but the dry bag was wrapped up around another log. So I detached the dry bag and thought, we'll come back for the kayak later, maybe. I don't really even care to see it again, and I was just shaken. I was just shaking up. I said, this can't be true. Maybe this isn't even his. Let me look at it. So I poured it all out. Sure enough, his driver's license, the van key, which didn't work, his all of his stuff, and the ring. I was so excited to give it to Eli, but I didn't want to call him and tell him. I wanted to go and give him the ring. And so I start walking back, and I call my grandma. Grandma, you're never going to believe what just happened. She was so excited, and I started texting my friends. As I'm texting, I just send to my friend Cassie, and I look up, and there's an eagle. And the eagle, and I'm not even kidding, I got a video of it, and I wish I'd brought it and put it up here. The eagle flies around me in a circle, and I already had my phone out because I was texting Cassie. And I videoed it, and I just said, you have got to be kidding me. And I said, it's circling me. Sure enough, it went all the way around and then back that way. So almost an entire circle around me. Undeniable. I mean, undeniable. And I can't say for sure that appreciating the little things was why that happened or that I noticed it. But I can tell you, my disposition and, my presence has been, I think, a key to having crazy things like this happen. So what does the eagle have to do with romanticizing your life? I'm going to kind of tie it up here. 2 things that I think, in order to really romanticize your life, you need that the eagle represents. Number 1 is perspective. What matters and what doesn't. Easier said than done. Easier said than done, but when we're in our daily life, being able to answer the question, does this matter? Is this weaved into connection that we're getting with humans? The relationship is so much more important than the dishes, all the little stuff that I can so easily let just get in my way is mitigated by perspective. So the perspective, what matters and what doesn't. Secondly, is an idea of transformation is available for us all. Transformation, I didn't even know this until we had friends over for dinner last week, and I was telling them the story about finding the ring. And Pete and Susan were their names, and Pete said, well, you know about the eagle's transformation, right? I said, no, I have no idea. What are you talking about? He said, when they're 40 years old, and I looked this up, it's true. When they're 40 years old, their body becomes unable to operate the way that they always have. Their feathers get heavier, their talons get dull, their beak gets dull, and they have to go to the top of a mountain and completely start over. They have to hit their beak against a rock till, you seem to know this already, till it completely disintegrates, essentially. Then they work on their nails, then they pluck their own feathers. It's about 150 days of transformation. And if they choose not to do that transformation, they die, and some eagles do. And if they do, they get to live another average of 30 years. So their lifespan, I think, is 70 years. And I was like, oh my gosh, talk about personal conviction around romanticizing my life, because there's been a lot of friction inside of changing the pattern of how I have lived my life until this point. And I'm not 40, I'm 32, but I have done a lot of my life in a way of should and achievement and aggression and goal setting. And there's nothing wrong with having goals around making money and doing all that. It's a very fun thing to do. But it did get to a point for me that it was running me. And then I became like the eagle, where I couldn't work like that anymore. I truly believe I was close to my own personal end. And, you know, this kayaking story and the eagle has really been a lesson to me of like, it's okay to choose that it doesn't have to be the way that it's always been. And it's actually a beautiful thing to choose to transform. So in order to really romanticize your life, the two things you need from the eagle: perspective and transformation. And then I have three kind of takeaways for me of what it really practically looks like to romanticize my life, in case you're like me and you're like, this is a great idea, but like, what does it really look like in day to day? The first one is believing your life is capable of a highlight reel, and acknowledging that there are wow moments even inside of the full movie. So the full movie being sickness, pain, the ordinary human experience, going to the bathroom, all of the things that are just meh. There's a highlight reel inside of life. So that's the first one. There's divine inside of our life. So believe that you're capable of your life is capable of having a highlight reel. Number two is to take personal responsibility to notice the highlight reel. The cool thing is, we are the only ones who really can notice that about our own life. No one else is doing that for us, probably. What an honor it is to be me. What an honor it is for you guys to be you, and you're getting this unique perspective on life that no one else is getting because of the seat that you're sitting in, the place you are in the universe, but also the way that your mind interprets information, the way your neurons fire uniquely, what sensations you notice, what you don't. We are getting a unique experience just by being us. And it is our job, I believe, to appreciate that. And then thirdly, let appreciation overtake dissatisfaction, and trust that you will still take action where needed. This is one that I kind of had a disempowering belief about for a while. I thought, well, if I do show appreciation for my real life, well, then I will just sit around and do nothing, because I'll just be good and content. And actually, I found that the opposite is true. The action that I take is far more authentic, far more compelled from a true place than if I'm just doing in order to check a box. But appreciation can actually be the growth factor to doing what is really awesome for us. I don't know if that was a little ambiguous, but I mean it, because there's ways to take action that's not from that authentic place. So I'll just trust that landed where it was supposed to and wasn't too far out there. The first time I ever went to a Unity, it was Unity in Kansas City, and I'm hearing words like, ether, and I was like, oh no, I don't know what any of this means. So, but I've come around to it. I understand most of it now, I think. All right. That's what I have for you. I hope that this has been inspiring to consider romanticizing your own real life and consider your life as the miracle that it is. Thanks for having me.
Hello, hello. Great. So I will say, in that first song, I actually appreciated that it was dark, especially that line of, though the darkness round me close, songs still, come. So it was kind of appropriate. And I doubt any of you could hear it, but my instrument was singing when I was not. So it was vibrating from my vocal projection. And so then it would ring in my ears when I was silent in between. And I hope that resonance also made it its way to you, even if you couldn't quite hear it that way. If you think instruments aren't alive, you're wrong. They got a mind of their own. I was watching the Olympics, and this guy was asked, the Brazilian skier that won the first ever medal for Brazil in the Winter Olympics. And they asked how he was managing to do what he was doing. He said, I have to become one with the mountain. So I'm becoming one with my instrument up here for a second. Okay, we're going to leave it. Hope it's good enough. So this is a song that I dearly love. It's so aligned with this beautiful talk that Bethany gave us. A song by Susan Warner. Many of you know it, and I think the first time I played it was here. It's called May I Suggest. Yeah, such a lovely song, and I would love to bring into the room some folks who were here when I first came to Unity who aren't here anymore. They moved to Kansas City, but Shay and Susanna, those of you who know them, they love this song, and so I was texting with them this morning, and they're going through a bit of a rough time, so this song, I'll be holding them in my heart as well as all of you. All right, my wish for you today. May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life. May I suggest this time is blessed for you. This time is blessed and shining, oh so blinding bright. Just turn your head and you'll begin to see the thousand reasons that were just beyond your sight. The reasons why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a world that's been addressed to you, intended only for your eyes. A secret world, like a treasure chest for you, of private dreams and brilliant scenes that mesmerize. A lover's trusting smile, a tiny baby's hand, the million stars that fill the turning sky at night. Yes, I suggest to you, yes, I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a hope that's been expressed in you, the hope of 7 generations, maybe more. This is the faith that they invest in you. It's that you'll do one better than was done before. Inside you know, inside you understand, inside you know what's yours to finally set right. Oh, I suggest to you, oh, I suggest this is the best part of your life. This is a song comes from the west to you, comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun. With a request of you, to see how very short the endless days will run. And when they're gone, and when the dark descends, we'd give anything for one more hour of life. And I suggest this is the best part of your life.
I invite you to close your eyes as we practice meditation together. As we settle into this very moment, in this particular spot in the big, vast universe, we intentionally bring our noticing power to what we appreciate. We appreciate the weather, as unpredictable as it may seem. We appreciate the people around us who bring us such light. We appreciate our homes that give us shelter and safety. We appreciate our animals that give us friendship. We even appreciate the little things, like delicious food, a cup of coffee or tea, our favorite water bottle, and things that seem bigger, like opportunities in our career. We appreciate the simple pleasures as well as the lessons. And we appreciate ourselves, getting to feel, honor, and express our divine wiring. And with this appreciation, we trust we will continue to take action toward a world that works for all.
So maybe taking a moment here in this quiet to think about the things in your own life you appreciate right here in this moment. And when you're ready, opening your eyes, returning here. Bring the energy up a little bit here. It's a traditional tune that I just love playing. It's called This Joy, and I'd love for you to sing along with me. It's very simple. The first line is, "This joy in my heart, the world didn't give it to me." That repeats 3 times. And then the last line of the verse is, "The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away." And from one verse to the next, all that changes is one word. So I'll try to give you that word, and you can all join in. Amidst all that challenge. This joy in my heart, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, I should have told you it's to the tune of This Little Light of Mine. So there you go. It was like, what are we supposed to do? This joy in my heart, the world didn't give it to me. This joy in my heart, the world didn't give it to me. This joy in my heart, the world
I'm loud enough anyway, right? It's what you're off. Anyway, okay, the ushers are here. So let's enjoy our time of thanks. So join with me as we give our gifts to this community with our hands and love in our hearts. So let's affirm together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Okay, as we collect the love offering, let's join Holly in singing Beauty. In beauty may I walk.
In beauty may I walk all day long. May I walk through the seasons. May I walk. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace on this path. May I walk through my life. May I walk in old age. May I walk. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace.
Here's our prayer of gratitude. We are grateful as we bless the flow of good that supports our unity community. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth, returning again and again, and so it is. Amen. So it's time for opportunities. So a special welcome to our guests today. We're very thankful you've joined us today. And if you'd like more information about our Unity of Lawrence or the Unity Movement, there are welcome packets in the foyer. Is there lunch bunch today? I don't have that on my list. Oh, at the Mad Greek. Okay, on Mass Street. Mad Greek is where the lunch bunch will meet today. That's a fellowship opportunity to join each other, gather together for lunch. So everyone's welcome. So next Sunday, we're going to hold a special, very short congregational meeting right after the service for about 10 minutes. We have some board members that have been vetted, and we need to vote those in. So please join us for that. We need a quorum here to accomplish that task, so it's very important. A new class is starting called Living from Spirit, Creating a World of Peace, Respect, and Inclusion. And this will take place on Tuesdays at 6 p.m., beginning on February 24th with Rev. Anna Schaus. She's going to facilitate the class, and we're going to explore the text, Keep a True Lent by Charles Fillmore, who is one of the co-founders of the Unity Movement. So more information is available in the foyer. And if you have not sat in on a class with Rev. Anna Schaus, let me just tell you, it is always phenomenal. She is an outstanding teacher. She's a Unity Reverend, and she's delightful, and it will change your life to attend this class, I promise you. Unity Outreach, we're collecting non-perishable food for our neighbors this month. So, and we need to fill that bin out there. It needs more love. Okay, so if you have any non-perishable food items you can share, that will all go to Just Food. And we're doing that just this month, so please remember to bring your donations. Thank you. Our bylaws require that membership is renewed every year. This is a half a sheet of paper where you basically give your contact information, just keep it updated for us. Those renewal forms are out on the foyer as well on the shelf, and or you can go to our membership page on our website. Next Sunday, we will have Kelly Hunt here, and she will do a talk and share her music called Peace in Difficult Times. So now let's stand together. Oh, wait, I forgot. Cindy Novella wants to come up. Hold on, don't sing yet. Would you like the microphone?
I just wanted to let you all know that I am leading a women's retreat March 20th through 22nd. It's called Spring Awakening, so it's a women's mindfulness retreat. You don't have to have experience with mindfulness, that's fine, just teaching us to be present like Bethany was talking about. It's over spring equinox, so a real time of starting to feel the life within us and also be aware of the life that's coming out of the earth. So yeah, that's happening. I have a couple of little flyers out there. I forgot to bring my stash in, but just let me know if you're interested or go to my website. It's just myname.com. Thanks.
Thank you, Cindy. Okay, let's stand together and sing the peace song.